Nope.
Hello, dear listener, and welcome to yet another video centered on Japanese urban legends. Everybody loves a good monster story, am I right? Perhaps one of the most world-renowned monsters, Godzilla, was birthed in Japan. But he's not the only beast to emerge from the land of the rising sun. Maybe it's a generational thing, but I personally never found Godzilla to be frightening. Though I can't say the same about these 8 notorious Japanese monsters. I've said it before and I'll say it again. You truly aren't safe anywhere in Japan. Let's begin. Number 1. The Snake Woman. Nur Onna, or the Snake Woman, is a half-woman, half-reptilian hybrid. Though her upper half is mostly that of a beautiful woman, her lower half is that of an abnormally large snake. Nur Onna has been said to haunt the shoreline, where she stalks her prey from below the surface of the water. Though she is very long and large, she can hide within shallow waters to attack unsuspecting targets. Another tactic that she uses is to hold her upper body above the water and splash around as if she is drowning. When a good Samaritan comes to help her, she attacks. Once she reveals her true form to her victim, she uses her snake-like eyes to paralyze them before her claws tear them apart and her tongue sucks out their blood. Number 2. Naparabu. Many cultures have urban legends of people who are not exactly what they seem. American culture has black-eyed children. Native American culture has skinwalkers. Japanese culture? They have the Naparabu, or the No-Faces. Fortunately for our friends in the East, the Naparabu are a little bit less sinister than their Western counterparts. The Naparabu will roam the streets at night and will strike up conversations with their unsuspecting victims. With their ability to create the illusion of a face, people will often not suspect anything is amiss when speaking to them. While their guard is down, the Naparabu will reveal their true faceless form, scaring the hell out of those they are speaking to. Apparently, that is all they wish to do, just scare people. Maybe, just maybe, Slender Man is a Naparabu who lost his ability to create the face illusion. Poor guy. Number 3. Gashadokuro. The Gashadokuro is essentially a giant and is similar to most legends of giants from their cultures. It stalks the countryside, seeking human victims to eat alive. The difference with Gashadokuro is that he, or perhaps they, are also skeletons. Thought to be made up of the bones and remains of people who starved to death, the anger and pain of the deceased experienced during their last moments caused them to come back as the Gashadokuro. Though the monster is set to stand at a whopping 90 feet in height, it moves almost completely silently. The only sign they will give you of their approach is a subtle ringing you will hear in your ear before they strike. If they do manage to get you, they will scoop you up, bite off your head, and drink down the blood that flows from your decapitated corpse. Number 4. The Longhaired Woman. Judging by the nicknames, the Longhaired Woman, the Hook Woman, and even the Needle Woman, the story of Haryango is clearly a gruesome one. According to the legend, Haryango is a ghost or demon woman who travels the remote areas around villages to find her victims. As she wanders, she assumes the disguise of a beautiful woman in order to fool the young men that cross her path. When an unfortunate soul does lay his eyes upon Haryango, she flashes a sweet smile his way. If at that point the man smiles back, his fate is sealed. Hariyango's formerly luscious hair falls down into a long, thick, black mane with razor tips. She controls her hair like tentacles and shoots the giant strands his way. The razor tips tear through the man's flesh until he is ensnared and immobile. That is when she finishes the job, ripping him apart into a bloody mess. Number 5. The Mountain Witch. Yama-uba, also known as the Mountain Witch, once lived in a small village with her children. As an elderly widow, Yama relied on her children for support. When famine struck her small village, her children decided they couldn't be bothered to feed her anymore and forced her into the neighboring woods, where she would die of starvation. Yama instead passed through the woods and into the mountains, where she found shelter in a cave. Eventually, due to the elements and crippling feeling of hunger, the woman was driven to insanity. She began to kill and eat anyone who passed by. Her hair became long, yellowed, and matted. Her mouth grew to stretch across her whole face. Her eyes became paralyzing. A common tactic that she would use would be to pose as a young woman in order to attract young male travelers. When their guard was down, she would strike, killing them and consuming their flesh. Another trick she relied on was to lead people astray and then off the edge of the mountain. After plummeting to their death, the bodies of the travelers would be feasted upon by Yama-uba. Number 6. Human dogs. Sometime between 1989 and 1990, an infestation of strange creatures seemed to be plaguing urban Japan. Citizens would call their local police and report sightings of what they claimed to be part man, part dog hybrids. These beings would have the body of a dog but the face of a human and were allegedly able to speak. They were seen at night, rummaging through garbage, exploring the streets, and sprinting after cars on the road, often having no problem keeping up with the vehicle despite their high speeds. When approached from behind by someone assuming they were just a normal dog, the head of the hybrids would twist around to reveal an angry face that would scold the spectator, telling them to leave them alone and that they can do whatever they wanted. The origin of these creatures are often argued. Some say they are the reincarnation of people who died in automobile collisions. Some say they are normal dogs that are partially possessed by evil spirits. Some even believe they are the results of some type of DNA splicing experiment gone wrong. Though these hybrids themselves were not said to be a threat or harmful to humans in any way, there seemed to be a correlation with interactions being followed by tragic events. As a matter of fact, so many car accidents were blamed on the creatures that authorities had to briefly investigate the possibility of their existence. Number 7. The Face Powder Hag. Oshiroi Baba, also known as the Face Powder Hag, is a demon that wanders the snowier parts of Japan. Donning a large sun hat and cane, she searches for young women to prey upon. When she finds an unsuspecting target, she graciously offers them her signature white face powder from a small vial. She insists using the powder will allow the girls to look younger, more beautiful, and rejuvenated. If any of these girls are foolish enough to apply the powder, they instantly begin to feel an irritation. This irritation grows into a potent and painful burning sensation. It isn't until the victim's skin is oozing off their bones, revealing nothing but the skull and some remnants of muscle fiber. That is when Oshiroi Baba gathers the fallen flesh and escapes, using it for who knows what. Number 8. the long neck women. The long neck women, also called the Rokorokobi, are similar in nature to the Naparobu. Like their faceless counterparts, the long neck women can appear to be normal ladies, but it's all a ruse. As you may have guessed from the name, the Rokorokobi have the ability to stretch their necks to ridiculous lengths. Though not all of them have impure intentions, and some even prefer to live their life as normal people, there are also plenty of long neck women that are known to hunt down and prey on humans. As if that wasn't bad enough, there is another form of these creatures who are known to be exclusively sinister. These are known as the Nukukubi, or the removable head women. These creatures have the ability to actually detach their heads from their bodies completely and presumably float around to hunt down their victims. While they do this, it is thought that they do their best to hide their vulnerable bodies. If you ever find the body of a Nukukubi, you have the opportunity to kill the monstrous being, or you can hide it, forcing the creature to float around endlessly in their attempt to find it. Thank you for listening, and I hope you enjoyed this week's video. For the record, I expect all of you to kill a long neck woman if you ever come across one. And do you know what else I expect you to kill? The like button. That's of course only if you did actually like the video. And if you did and haven't subscribed already, be sure to do so for future videos and updates. Next week will mark the finale of the Japanese Urban Legends series. Until then, stay safe out there, everyone. I'll be seeing you in the next video.